Hey everyone, it's Amy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a recent book haul. So these are pretty much all the books that I've bought since September. As I mentioned in my previous video, or one of my previous videos, I got COVID in October, so haven't really done anything. But I have been buying books, so let's jump in and I'll share those with you now. The first four that I have here are because I'm currently reading a book called The Forgotten Garden by Kate Morton. Now, it's quite a chunky book. It's over 600 pages. I don't actually have it with me now. It's long, but I'm enjoying it so much that whilst in the midst of my sickness, I thought to myself, I need to own everything else that this author has written because I'm enjoying this book so much. I still haven't finished it yet. I basically went onto eBay and I found all of the other books that this woman had written and I bought them all. So the first one I have to show you is The House at Riverton. Can you see how gorgeous these editions are? I wanted these editions specifically because they match with the other one that I have. Back of this one it says, a terrible tragedy, forgotten by history, silenced by memory, until now, which sounds very much in the same kind of vein as the other book that I'm reading by her. I think she writes kind of similar kind of storylines, kind of around intrigue, mystery, family tragedy, that kind of thing. So I will look forward to reading this one. This one's looking a little bit battered. I bought all of these on eBay, quite cheap actually, because I'm trying to buy secondhand where I can. This one's got a beautiful stain on the front. And this one is The Secret Keeper, also by Kate Morton. On the back of here, this one says, words have a way of finding the light, of making their secrets known. So you can guess, they're all kind of this like intrigue and mystery, and do you know what, I just love a mystery. If you've been here a while, you'll know that I'm a big fan of like Agatha Christie, and I feel like those kinds of books are absolutely perfect for reading in winter time when you're kind of snuggled up, you've got your fake ASMR crackling fire on the TV and you're under a blanket, you've got your cup of tea and you've got a mystery to read. That to me is a perfect afternoon. I don't know about you guys. Next, also by Kate Morton, is The Distant Hours, and I think this might be my favourite cover. It's got lots of little bees on it, isn't that so cute? The little snippet from the back of this one, a letter lost for 50 years will unearth a family's deepest secrets. I think she found her niche and she went with it, and I have a feeling all of these books are going to be fantastic and I cannot wait to read them. Oh, she's beautiful. Look how beautiful this woman is. Kate Morton, I didn't even know what she looked like, but she's stunning. I kind of imagined that she wouldn't be young, I don't know why. When I imagine mystery writers, I just imagine Agatha Christie, so I imagine that they're like going to be older, but she's not. She's young and beautiful. Oh, I'm excited. How lovely. And the final book I have here from Kate Morton, I promise I do have books from other people in a minute. And I'm a little bit annoyed about this one because I didn't look at the listing before I bought it on eBay, because it's a hardback and I'm not a fan of hardbacks. And it's huge. This is The Clockmaker's Daughter, but look at the size of that. It's literally bigger than my head. The only positive of it is that the writing is also huge, so hopefully it won't like take me too long to read. Would you like me to read the back of this one for you? My father called me Birdie. He said I was his little bird. Others knew me as his child and the clockmaker's daughter. Edward called me his muse, his destiny. My real name no one remembers. The truth about that summer no one else knows. She's good at writing little snippets on the back, isn't she? Just pulls me in straight away. It's I'm a bit of a sucker for a mystery little tagline. It's great. Moving on to books that aren't by Kate Morton. Next we have Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell. This is book number 2. I don't know if there is going to be more, if this is going to be like a longer series or if it's just a duology and this is the end. The first one in this series is called Carry On. I really enjoyed this one. It's set in kind of a wizarding school in London, in Watford. Very like Harry Potter, like modern day Harry Potter kind of vibes to it, because it's set kind of now and there's like, you know, people have mobile phones and all that kind of stuff. It's quite good. And this one follows the main characters after they've left the wizarding school and kind of go on a little bit of an adventure together. It's good, it's fun, it was lighthearted, it definitely cheered me up whilst I was feeling unwell, so that was quite nice. So yeah, I'd recommend this one. Next up we have another one that I've actually already read, and that is Serpentine by Philip Pullman. This is a kind of companion little, very little, so it's under a 70 page book that goes with his Dark Materials series. If you want to hear my thoughts on this one, I mentioned it in my recent reads wrap-up, which I'll link down below if you want to see it. Another book by Philip Pullman, I've picked up The Book of Dust Volume 2, which is called The Secret Commonwealth. So I picked up the first book in this new trilogy, which is also set in the His Dark Materials world, way back, I mean, probably about 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago now. And I didn't love it. I didn't kind of immediately fall in love with the story. I think the problem is that I love the original trilogy of His Dark Materials so much that I had such high expectations for this new story, and I just don't think it was ever going to live up to my expectations, to be honest. So I've left it a few years. I just got the urge and I wanted to pick up the story. The good thing about this one is it actually does follow Lyra, who is the main character in His Dark Materials, the first trilogy. I'd love to know down below if you've read this new trilogy and kind of what you think of it. Does it compare, does it match up to your love of the first trilogy, or do you love it more? I mean, I assume there's going to be some people that actually this might be the first trilogy that they read from him, and so yeah, that's a weird thought actually. So I'd love to know, let me know down in the comments below. Next up we have the only non-fiction book I have here, which is called Mothers, an Essay on Love and Cruelty by Jacqueline Rose. So this book, I think I saw this, or I read another book which then recommended this book, and I researched it and was like, yeah, that sounds like something I would enjoy. To sum up easily, I'll just read you a little bit from what it says on the back. So it says, Mothers unveils the crucial idea that unless we recognise what role we are asking mothers to perform in the world and for the world, we will continue to tear both the world and mothers to pieces. So essentially it's looking at everything to do with mothers, the expectations around what mothers are, how they're kind of perceived, and everything to do with being a mother. And as I've mentioned recently, I am looking to start a family and to become a mother in the next kind of few years, and so this kind of stuff is just becoming very interesting to me at the moment. So yeah, I'll definitely let you know what I think of this one when I get round to reading it. I haven't read anything non-fiction in quite some time, so I think it will be quite interesting to pick something up and see how I get on. Next up we have House of Names by Colm Toibin. I'm not sure how you say the surname there. But I basically have been really enjoying books, like Greek kind of mythology books and that kind of stuff this year. So I was kind of Googling different things to do with Greek mythology, and this was a book that got recommended. This tells the story of a man who, on the kind of eve of a big battle, he sacrifices his daughter, and when he returns from battle years later, his family are obviously not best pleased with him, and his wife is kind of looking for revenge. Through killing his daughter, he sparked this huge feeling of violence within his family, which is not surprising, to be honest, is it? I mean, if someone killed my child, I'm not sure I'd be best pleased with them. So very interested to see what this one is like. I've not read anything from this author before, and I can see that they've actually written quite a lot, so I would be interested, if I enjoyed it, to read something else from them in the future. So let me know, have you read this one? I've not seen it really talked about before on BookTube, so I would love to know if you've read it before. In the same kind of vein, I have another book here that's set in kind of Greek mythology, and that's 1,000 Ships by Natalie Haynes. So this is told at the time of the Trojan War, and it follows women, lots of women. I've really been enjoying books like this. The other one that I really loved was The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. That was a fantastic book I read earlier this year, and this is a similar kind of thing. So in the middle of the night, Creusa wakes to find her beloved city engulfed in flames. 10 seemingly endless years of conflict between the Greeks and the Trojans are over. Troy has fallen. This was never the story of one woman or two, it was the story of them all. And that sounds fantastic to me. Something I would really enjoy. Definitely going to look to read this one at some point soon. Final book I have to share with you is Three Women by Lisa Taddeo. This book, it doesn't have a lot written on the back, and I seem to remember when I picked it up in the bookshop, I literally read the first kind of few pages and was just really pulled into it. I believe it is non-fiction, or at least part non-fiction. In the beginning here it says, Lisa Taddeo spent 8 years and thousands of hours listening to the women whose stories comprise three women, even moving to the towns they lived in to better understand their lives. So yeah, it definitely sounds like this is non-fiction, almost like a journalistic kind of thing where Lisa Taddeo spent a lot of time. That's really annoying, can you hear that alarm? sorry, I'm just going to keep talking. She spent a lot of time with these women writing about their stories, and it sounds really intriguing, like something where she's really delved into some quite like sordid aspects of these women's lives and what is happening with them. And it sounds like it's quite a big thing potentially for these women to be happy to let this information come out, I guess. That's all I can really get from it. There's not much written on the back as to what the actual story is about, and I actually don't really want to read too much. Like, I don't want to go and read like a synopsis on like Goodreads or anything, because I actually want it to kind of be a little bit of a surprise as to what it is about. It sounds great, so I'm looking forward to it. So those are all the books that I've bought recently. I'd love to hear down below if you've read any of them, and if you think I should bump them up my TBR pile. As always, I will leave links to everything I've mentioned down below. All my links to social media and everything will be down there as well, so come and chat to me on Instagram and Twitter and things. I'll leave it there for today, guys. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and I will see you soon. Bye!